So Dereck Chisora scores a wide, comfortable, unanimous decision win over 12 rounds against Kevin Kingpin Johnson. He out-hustled him, he out-fought him, he out-punched him, and he even dropped Kevin Johnson for the first time in his career as far as I'm aware of. So, on paper, that was a good performance by Dereck Chisora, because Kevin Johnson's been 12 rounds with Vitaly Klitschko, has been 12 rounds with Tyson Fury in what was probably Tyson Fury's best performance to date. And neither of those guys managed to drop Kevin Johnson, but Dereck Chisora did. So, yeah, on paper, it was a good performance. But I just feel there's something missing from Dereck Chisora after the David Haye fight. I can't really put my finger on it. He's in better shape now than he's ever been. His work rate is still good. He comes forward. In this fight, he didn't get hurt with any head punches. He definitely kept his defense tighter this time around than he did in his last couple of fights where he did get hurt. But there's just something missing to me. He's lacking that spark, that twinkle in his eye that he used to have. Before the Robert Helenius fight, Dereck Chisora, tried some antics at the weigh-in with Robert Helenius. And Dereck Chisora is notorious for trying all these antics in fights. And, at domestic level, European level, and at world level with Vitaly Klitschko when he slapped him and spat in Vladimir Klitschko's face and all that kind of stuff. And it's that attitude that Dereck Chisora had, that fire, that contemptuous nature towards his opponents, even though it manifested itself in some unfortunate behavior, I just feel like that was part of what made Dereck Chisora effective in the ring, was that spark, that fire, that aggression, that natural innate aggression and will to do damage to his opponent and be disrespectful to his opponent. When he went in there with Vitaly Klitschko and with Robert Helenius, those were fights that he was expected to lose and lose badly. A lot of people picked him to get knocked out in those fights. I mean, I didn't, but other people did. And Dereck Chisora was so different to a typical Vitaly Klitschko opponent in the sense that he came in the ring looking to hurt Vitaly Klitschko. He wasn't interested in Klitschko's reputation. There was literally smoke coming off Dereck Chisora in the ring that night against Vitaly Klitschko. And to me, even though he does have work rate now and all that, that spark, that viciousness is missing from Dereck Chisora now, at least from what my eyes can see. And it's not just in the ring that I've noticed a difference. It's also out of the ring. He seems a lot more placid to me in interviews and stuff like that. Now, it could be maturity. It could be the David Haye loss affected his mentality. I've seen that happen to people in life, not just in boxing, but in life, where they get a beating for the first time and their whole personality can change, like overnight. So it could be that, or there's something I've been thinking about and speculating about, that maybe he's on medication because he was doing a lot of erratic things before fights. And maybe they've put him on some kind of medication. I know Mike Tyson was on medication for, I know some of the latter part of his career, he was actually on medication for his temper. I wonder if Dereck Chisora is also on medication and whether that's affecting his demeanor and maybe his performances slightly. I don't know. That's just something to think about. It could be a number of different things. Maybe a lot of people would disagree with what I'm saying. Maybe they don't see any difference in Dereck Chisora in terms of his spark and aggression. I mean, he was aggressive in the fight, but I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. There's just something missing to me. I can't really quantify it and explain it in words, but it's there. Now, the interesting thing in the post-fight interview, because like I say, he dropped Johnson, he out-hustled him and outworked him and won the fight clearly on the scorecards. He made the same mistakes that Dereck Chisora normally makes. He was throwing wide looping punches. He doesn't know how to shorten his punches effectively on the inside. He still tries to throw wide shots when he's right up on top of you, not throwing nice little clean hooks on the inside, but big swings instead. So he did all the things Dereck Chisora normally does, and unless he changes trainers, I can't see that changing. But after the fight, it was interesting that Dereck Chisora actually called out Alexander Povetkin. That was interesting to me because I've always said for a long time that, in my opinion, the relationship that he has with Frank Warren is a dictatorial relationship where Frank Warren tells him, you're going to do this, and he does it. And I think Dereck Chisora might just be feeling a little bit, you know, like he wants to take control of his career now, that he don't really want to be dictated to by Frank Warren all the time. I think he is starting to feel that way because, in my opinion, Frank Warren does not believe that Dereck Chisora is capable of beating Vladimir Klitschko. And if he puts Chisora in there with Vladimir Klitschko, Chisora, I think this is what Frank Warren believes, Chisora could end up getting beaten badly and knocked out and possibly ruined as a fighter. So I think that Frank Warren would rather, and on top of that, he won't make much money fighting Vladimir Klitschko. Warren has dealt with the Klitschkos before. He knows how difficult they are to deal with from a business point of view. So he knows he ain't going to get that much money from that. But he saw how much money he generated when Dereck Chisora fought David Haye in the summer of 2012. He saw how much money that fight generated, and he thought, you know what? Let me try and replicate that with a Tyson Fury fight. I think that's what Frank Warren has been thinking, because I don't think he really believes Dereck can beat Vladimir Klitschko, and most people don't. So he's thinking, you know what? To hell with that. To hell with getting Dereck another title fight. Let's get him a Tyson Fury fight, because I can build that up the same way the David Haye fight was built up. And if Dereck loses, so what? I still made a shitload of money, much more money than I would have made matching him with Vladimir Klitschko. I think that is the way Frank Warren is thinking. And Dereck Chisora, I think maybe based on that interview, the post-fight interview, he's just starting to realize that now that, you know, Frank Warren is looking out for himself more than Dereck Chisora. He's thinking, nah, I need to make a shitload of money. I don't care about Dereck Chisora getting title shots. I just want to make a shitload of money before he gets beat again, or before his shelf life as a boxer has expired. So that's just my opinion. That's what I think has been going on in his career. I don't think Frank Warren really has that much faith in Dereck Chisora as a world level heavyweight, and he's just trying to maneuver him into a position to fight Tyson Fury, and Frank Warren knows he can make a shitload of money off that fight. So yeah, that's what I think. Let me know how you feel. Do you feel the same way? And how do you think Dereck Chisora would do against Alexander Povetkin? Because that's who he called out. He said it's a big fight in Moscow. Tried to put Frank Warren on the spot a little bit. I actually like that, because Dereck, from what I've seen in his career, he's really been almost like a puppet of Frank Warren. You know, Frank Warren wheels him out for all this promotional stuff that he does, and I don't know, it's like he uses Dereck Chisora over the past couple years almost like a promotional tool for his company and his beliefs, and even his political leanings and stuff like that. Yeah, seriously. I mean, he's used Dereck Chisora for all kinds of stuff, bizarre things, which I really don't believe it was Dereck Chisora's choice to do it. It was Frank Warren telling him, do this, Dereck, do that. That's just the way I see it. So yeah, it's to me, it was heartening and good to see Dereck try and challenge Frank a little bit and say, you know what, nah, I'd rather fight Povetkin. I'm not sure if he'll get his way. I doubt he'll get his way. I mean, we'll have to see whether Frank Warren can actually promote a Povetkin fight, or how much money you could make from it. I don't know. But Dereck certainly, you know, wants the Povetkin fight. That's why he mentioned it. And then he said after the Povetkin fight, he'll take the Tyson Fury fight. But obviously, if he lost to Povetkin, I mean, the Fury fight would probably be out the window. If he won against Povetkin, the Fury fight would be even bigger. But I'm not sure if Frank Warren wants to take that risk at this stage when the Fury fight is so close. I'm not sure if Frank Warren wants to take that risk. So there might be a little conflict of interest there. Some people might say, well, it's Dereck Chisora's way of maybe ducking Tyson Fury, although he did say he'd fight Fury after Povetkin. Let me know how you feel about the whole situation. There's a lot to discuss here, a lot to talk about, the performance, the aftermath. How do you think Chisora would do against Tyson Fury based on his performance against Kevin Johnson and based on Fury's performance against Joey Abel? Personally, I would pick Tyson Fury to win again. I picked Tyson Fury first time, but the reason I picked him the first time is because of the shape that Dereck Chisora turned up in at the weigh-in. I was going to pick Chisora, but when I saw Chisora at the weigh-in and the type of terrible condition he was in for the first fight with Tyson Fury, I changed my mind and I was like, no, I'm taking Tyson Fury. But this time around, I think Fury has come on and improved as a fighter more than Dereck Chisora has. That's just how I feel. So I still think that Tyson Fury would beat Dereck Chisora again if they fought. But let me know how you feel about everything I've talked about in this video. This is Hatman, I'm out.